right, welcome back to Orange Peelers.
Final regular season one.
Yeah.
Last time previewing the Bulldogs, possibly the last time previewing the
last time previewing Bulldogs, last time previewing South.
Possibly.
We'll review them both next week, I guess. Possibly, definitely.
It's very unlikely. So we'll say that.
Now, Zane, before we get into the podcast, I've drawn up a little bit of a list just to get some things out of the way. Because I know the viewers, I feel like a couple of people will be tuning into this week's episode, especially because you're a Souths fan and I'm a Bulldogs fan.
Yes.
And there's a bit of drama at South at the moment.
Yes, and a bit of drama at the Dogs.
There's plenty of drama at the Dogs. So I've got a list, a bit of a recap of the last week of each club, just to clear the water a little bit.
Yes.
This is a bit of a therapy session.
I know Souths are pretty much over their dramas now. So
yeah, and I do have it noted.
Mob at the moment. I know
a couple of things that implies that they may have moved on, but just to, get the therapy bit out of the way and maybe make us feel a few things, I'm just going to review it and just clear the water. So South Sydney first, Zane.
Mm-hmm. A lot.
Latrell got suspended. He had the Luke Combs incident. And feel free to jump in if I miss anything as well.
Really was a storm in a teacup.
Oh, 100%, but it happened.
No drama at all there.
Then the text messages surfaced.
Yes.
What did the text messages say? Do you want
to... I'm not going to read the...
Don't read it, but like...
Want me to read the entire text message?
No, off the top of your head, just like summarise it.
From the CEO saying... was it the CEO or the chairman? Yeah, saying the club's in crisis. There's players who... get special treatment. Players such as Walker, Cook and Mitchell who spend more time on the massage chair.
Apparently, Cameron Murray had a go at Latrell in a video session.
Yes.
That was in the text message.
Good to hear, though, that
and then some drama with Sam Burgess in the text message.
Oh, no. I think, Dimitro's just not listening to Burgess anymore.
And then Burgess quit or left.
Well, yeah.
He left either he was told to leave or he left on his own terms.
Yeah.
John Morris.
He's still there for the rest of the year.
But he's leaving at the end of the season.
To the Tigers.
And then there was a bit of drama with Rod Churchill?
Rod Churchill.
Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of him until this week.
Yeah, that's about it.
But he slammed Latrell Mitchell, and then South
the number one jersey.
And then South said that they wouldn't accept the medal if they won it, which they won't win it because they're not getting that far.
Oh,
but
you never know. You never know.
And then to top it all off, my favourite part. You had a bring your own dog to work day, and the coach's dog got mauled by Jai Arrow's dog.
It wasn't badly injured though.
It was mauled.
It was more of a barking attack, apparently.
Was it? Oh, so
they more just went at each other. No dog got severely injured.
It was confirmed that Jason's dog was alive.
Yeah, it was just a
But
disagreement.
Jai's dog, he's got a bit of history. We were just saying before we started filming,
he's got a few incidents with dogs. Get him on the potty one day and question him about
maybe we start
his dog ownership.
Should he start a dog podcast?
Oh, possibly.
He's not a responsible dog owner.
It doesn't seem like it.
Should you have to have a license to have a dog? I think Jai Arrow needs to pass some sort of test. You do your learner's test to get your license. Maybe he needs to do a learner's dog test.
I wonder what it is with him and dogs. It's a very big debate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just to have, it's like it's his first time. It's not his first dog that's done it.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think it's not the dog's problem. Maybe it's the owner's problem. And speaking of, the dogs not being the problem, maybe the owner's being the problem, the Bulldogs, Zane. Lots of issues at the Bulldogs. Actually, just to finish off Souths, Cameron Murray extended.
He did.
At the end of the week.
In the text message saying he was considering rugby.
Yeah, exactly. And so then it sort of rounded it all out because he's extended.
And apparently rumours, which I think is a load of rubbish, that the Raiders are after Keon.
Oh,
but he's literally just extended until 2026.
Oh, there was also the talk of, I think we touched on it last week with Wyden backflipping as well.
Yeah, and he confirmed that himself.
Yeah, I
think
we
put
said
it on
that
his
last
story.
week.
He just laughed it off. It's just the media trying to make something out of South. Wyden's coming. Just to confirm, he's coming.
And then
Cardinal Myrtle next year.
As you just said, obviously Bulldogs players not wanting to train. So the Bulldogs last week, we had 2 players injured last week. I'm going to do injured in quotation marks. Don't know if they're... one of them may not have been injured, but the 2 players got injured.
Can you name their names?
So Burns and Carraz. Yes. Carraz definitely injured. Braden Burns, been a bit of speculation by the media that he may have walked out of a training session. He confirmed that he didn't walk out of a training session. He was given a day off by the coach.
Right.
So the 2 players get hurt.
Braden Burns.
Yeah, 100%. I like Braden Burns. He hit the gritty for me, so I got plenty of time for Braden Burns. And then the Bulldogs, they lost 42-24, big loss. NRL 360 came out and pointed out the lazy players. Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh, for South?
No, this is all Bulldogs.
South as well.
Did they?
They did.
I didn't see that.
At least.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
After
yeah,
the
they
Knights
did
game.
for the
Yeah.
Dogs,
So they did
but
it. They like doing that
as
each
they
week.
should have.
Yeah.
It was
So
good.
Burton put up a kick, and then there was like a
I
bunch of
actually
players that didn't even
agreed
chase
with
it.
Paul Corley when he said
What'd he say?
overall the Dogs have probably been the worst team this year.
I think
Even though they're not last, the Dragons and Tigers have
I wish
shown
we got
more
the
heart
spoon,
than
just as
the
a
Dogs
wake up
have.
call. We deserve the spoon.
You reckon?
After all this coming out, yeah. We have the worst defense. Like we're conceding 32 points a game.
It's pathetic. Trust me. I watched that game. It is pathetic, your defense.
And then there was reports that Serraldo was training them for really long days, like from I think what was it, like 8 till 5:30 or something. That's the report that came out, and then that was in a text message that surfaced that also said there was like either four. Some outlets said it was 4 players, others said that it was 8 that just wanted out of the club. And then obviously players being mad that they were training for
those
long
4
days.
players being Burton, Adokar, Karaz, and Reed Marnie, by the way. You know, they're out of the Dogs next year.
Sauce. Do you have a sauce?
Oh, Phil Rothfield.
Oh, okay. And then yesterday, to top all this off, it was revealed that a player had walked out of the club.
Yes.
And to quote the Daily Telegraph, vowed to never return.
Really?
Which is like, that is some cinematic stuff.
Sorry, we were just getting a bit of a call from the CLPA. Just I don't know, crisis meeting.
Shout out to the CLPA. We got asked to give
get
them a
back to
shout
them.
out. So
We'll
shout
get
out to
back
the
to the CLPA
CLPA.
soon.
We got told to give them a shout out.
Hainsey, sorry. Don't have time for the meeting at the moment.
And so then the player, it was revealed the player walked out. It happened a month ago. I know who it was, but I'm not going to name him. Don't say it because apparently the Daily Telegraph article was accurate to an extent, but it was more so they said there was like the punishment wrestling players and stuff. It's more so he's left just because of mental health reasons, and so I don't want to name him because just show a bit of respect to them.
Off camera, so.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and the media will as soon as they name it, it'll be out there anyway. But I like the player, and so I don't want to dog him. You know what I mean? And I noticed he was missing a month ago, and so that's why it all adds up. And then Cameron Serraldo came out this morning, and you know it now. Cameron Serraldo came out this morning and said that there's only one long day a week that they do. He said there's one of the days where if you're getting the last massage, you're probably there till 5:30, and that day is shorter than Penrith days.
Right.
And so that's the drama at the Bulldogs. How you feeling, Zane?
Makes me feel better about South at the moment. Sounds the Dogs sound like they're in more crisis than...
Are Bulldogs and Souths the worst 2 clubs at the moment in terms of like drama?
Probably, yeah.
Like worse than Tigers?
Tigers
Worse than
have quieted
Dragons?
down. No, Dragons...
They're doing all right.
They've
Shout out to
gotten
the
over their
Saints.
drama. They're, looking forward to the future.
Mate, they've been playing some good footy.
Yeah,
But
they've
we'll
just
get
been
into
unlucky.
that. All right, so we've got that out of the way. Clear the water. Neither of us cried through that, so we did well. All right, let's get into Player of the Week, brought to you by one of our 2 best sponsors.
The Vintage Thread.
The Vintage Thread, Instagram at the Vintage Thread _
Can you guess who mine is?
No.
He played in the Manly Bulldogs game.
Is it Jaden Ockenball?
Definitely not. It's not a Dogs player. It is Daly
Oh,
Cherry
that's
Evans.
a fair shout.
Yes, I just didn't think you'd pick him, so...
I actually would have come close to it if I thought of him. He was... I've erased that game from my memory. He was very, very good. He killed us completely. Like, utterly just destroyed
Second time
us.
this year he's killed you as well.
Yeah.
So I remember round 1 he destroyed you on his own.
No, he was very good. Can you guess who mine was?
Is it Sam Walker?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. It is Clint Gutherson.
Yes,
I've picked
okay.
an Eels player
Actually, that
for
is
Player
a
of the
very
Week.
good choice,
He
isn't it?
was very, very good for Parry in their huge win over the Penrith
Which we'll
Panthers.
get to in pretty much a second.
Yeah, but the thing that I admired the most about Clint Gutherson,
He was injured. And
he wanted to keep going. When
Yeah.
he did his knee, and he
Oh,
like
man, it
was
was his last
refusing
game of
to
the
go
year.
off.
He's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I may as well play.
Well,
Like if that game was for a final spot, I reckon he would have gone off.
see, I feel like it's your last game. A lot of players go, it's the last game anyway. I'll just go off. Well, that's more severe mentality. But for him to like try and keep playing through it, and he was already like he had a really good game already. No, I respected it as much as I dislike Parramatta. Dislike Clint Gutherson. I respected
They were
that.
very good on
They
Thursday
were.
night.
And then
As always, they are against the Panthers.
yeah, they love playing against the Panthers.
Yes.
Most disappointing, Zane.
Oh, who to choose?
While you think, I'm just gonna do a bit more vintage
Who
thread
was
shouting out.
The worst player?
If you want to go and buy one of the NRL graphic tees or like any graphic tee of any sport, go to the Vintage Threads website. And when you buy your shirt, use code HOTDOG10. get 10% off your T-shirt. Most disappointing player, Zane?
The Ock. Oh, no, sorry.
What?
Ockenball.
Why?
Because his defence was just a
Was
joke.
it?
Yeah.
He
you
played
watch him
small
closely?
minutes. Yeah.
There's a lot of Dogs players I could have chosen here, but I'm going Ockenball.
Nah, fair enough, to be honest.
Yeah. Sorry, Ockenball, but we love the Ock, but Ockenball.
I'm just trying to think who else. There was a lot of disappointing players from the Bulldogs. Matt Burton had a pretty bad game. My most disappointing, not a player. I'm going Ricky Stewart.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. I think you know one of them.
Yes.
So
Telling the cameraman to bugger off. And
So he swore at a cameraman. And the cameraman has come in and said it actually happens every week. And that he's just glad he got it on camera to like expose what's going on. But I'm more mad at the fact that he benched Jared Croker in his last ever home game and then played him for like 3 minutes. And then the Tigers gave Luke Brooks a barbecue and we all made fun of it. They gave Jared Croker and Jack White a poster. And not even a personalised poster. They both got a poster of both of them. Like they scabbed off and didn't do 2 separate posters. They just gave the same poster to both of them. And now Jared Croker's legacy is tarnished by Jack White, who's a turncoat on the club. That's disgraceful for the club's highest point scorer.
They're the third most
300
biggest
games.
crisis at the moment, the Raiders.
Oh, it's
Third.
It's not good enough. That is absolutely disgusting. I'm blaming Ricky Stewart for that as well. So he's my most disappointing this week.
Fair enough. But
All right.
however, the first game.
Panthers, Eels.
I mean, we should say we didn't see this coming, but I mean, we normally don't see it coming and it happens.
Eels do love beating the Panthers.
32-18.
Huge win.
Huge win.
I didn't see the margin.
The margin being like
Like
that.
if somebody told me Eels were going to beat them, I would have been like,
tight
it makes
14-12
sense.
sort of
But
game.
not by that much. Yeah. 2-4 points.
And they were very dominant as well.
Yeah,
pretty early on. Like Sevo 4 tries.
In fact, Panthers sort of had a little bit of a comeback late.
They always do.
It was a huge lead at one stage. It was absolutely massive. But obviously, like the season's over. If you're an Eels fan, are you happy with that game or angry? Because like surely it's
Brad
like,
Arthur
where's
said
this
that as
been
well,
all
didn't he?
season?
Brad Arthur said that as well. Didn't
Yeah. What would you be? Would you be happy or sad?
he? I'd be happy to end on a high, but I'd still be disappointed with the season as a whole.
That's a well done. That was a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
That was very good because that's how I'd feel.
Arthur
as well.
said it in the press conference. They're going to miss out by 2 points, and it shows that every game does matter. I think Souths have learnt that as well. Every game does matter.
Yeah.
Like just one more win, we'd be locked in this final series.
Well, I remember early on in the season, there was a few games that the Eels dropped. Like round 1 against the Storm, they lost in Golden Point. So, and there was a couple other
Manly
games.
one.
Yeah, the Manly
The
one.
Sharks one even as well.
Yeah. There was a few at the start of the season.
The Magic round of the Titans is a game they should have won as well, and they didn't.
100%. Yeah, there's been just a few games throughout the entire season even. So it is a bit, and like, because they were in the grand final last year, it's a big fall from grace. Is that the most disappointing season to season turnaround this year? I know like Cowboys have fallen off a bit. The Bulldogs dropped a bit.
Oh, I think you
South.
could throw South into that equation.
But like,
Roosters, could you throw there? Nah, not really, actually.
Well, yeah, that
I'd say it has to be the Eels.
It has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just because like grand final to missing the 8, not
good
great.
enough. Like, there's been a few teams that have done it. The Cowboys were the last team to do it, 2018.
Yeah.
Also had the Roosters in 2011, the Warriors in 2012, the Eels in 2010.
Yeah.
I think that's about it, though.
It happens more than you'd think, but it still doesn't happen that much.
Yeah.
Because I remember I went and like searched up because I was like, surely this doesn't happen much. And it happened more than I expected, but still like not that much. Maybe every
often.
5 years.
Yeah.
So it is disappointing. But as you said, like they've ended the season on a high. They've beaten the Penrith Panthers who, like if they go on to win the comp, they've beat them twice this year. Once without Mitch Moses.
Like they did last year as well.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Every team has one of
Just
those
the bogey
teams,
yeah.
and that's it for the Panthers, but like massively. Like this is a sold out Panthers
We've all
stadium
got the
on a
bogey
Thursday
teams.
night.
Like, you know, the Dogs have. Who's your bogey team?
Who's our bogey team?
Many of them.
Broncos, Raiders, Sharks, Titans, Manly, Storm, Knights, Cowboys, Eels, Panthers, Souths, Dragons, Roosters, Wars, Tigers.
There's a lot I can
all
point
of them.
out. Like
Dolphins.
The Roosters have the Rabbitohs as the
Sharks
bogey team.
have Raiders.
Sharks have Raiders.
Souths have Eels.
Sea Eagles have Titans.
Yeah.
Titans always seem to beat the Sea Eagles. We don't know how, but they do. Yeah, Souths have the Eels, even though last time we played. We won't talk about that.
Wait, is it? It's normally South lose to Eels.
No,
is it?
South normally
Oh, it's
beat them.
normally Eels lose to South.
Yeah.
But not last time. Yeah, I can't really think of any others.
Storm and Manly has a lot where
Yeah.
Manly beat them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This is.
you know, Manly and Titans is a big one. And Warriors over Titans as well.
Yeah.
Warriors are the Titans bogey team.
I feel like we used to be the Storm's bogey team.
Yeah, not
But
not
early
really.
10s, we used to always beat Storm. It was weird.
Yeah.
We actually go Raiders and Storm.
Oh yeah, Raiders
To an
and Storm's
extent.
definitely one.
No, obviously, like Storm just put 50 on them the other week, but yeah. But like, this is one of the biggest bogey teams in the NRL
Oh, yeah.
at the moment. Like this is
God, yeah.
insane level. I think I read a stat that 30% of the Panthers' losses in like the last four
Have been
years
to the
are to the Eels, which is insane considering you play the Eels. What's that like? Each year it's like a 15th of your games.
Of course, you can throw the two South wins in that percentage as well. Just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know where the Dogs are there, but
The last time we beat Panthers was 2019, I think, from memory. Because I think I was watching.
how much longer do you reckon it'll
highlights of
take?
it the other day. Well, when we win the comp next year, we'll have to beat them at one stage.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah. Doesn't matter. Move on.
what do you make of the Panthers? Because like, are you worried about them?
To some
Into
extent,
winning the
yes,
comp?
but at the same time, not really.
Do you want my take? This makes me more confident that they're going to win the comp.
What, this injury?
This loss.
Yeah, I still think they win the comp.
There's
I have a feeling they could lose the first week of finals, though.
yeah.
I feel like the Storm could knock them
yeah.
off. We'll get to the
Well,
Storm.
perhaps he's
soon.
back.
I know. I feel like the Storm could upset them, but then Panthers would still go.
There's
on
an
to win.
age-old saying in rugby league that you got to lose one to win one, and they've lost one.
Yeah.
So I feel like this.
Do you reckon
could
they'll
go-
rest their players?
They didn't.
They've named them, but
full strength.
They said it'll come after the Broncos Storm game.
I think they'll play full strength.
I reckon if Storm win that game, then they'll go full strength.
I think they'll go full strength either way.
You reckon?
Just because they're coming off a loss, I think they'll want to get
Cowboys
one
fans,
under the belt and
hold
build
your
a bit of
breath.
momentum.
Cowboys fans are holding their breath. I know that.
I think no matter what happens, they'll be full strength just to like kickstart their run to the finals, and they'll be in finals mode this weekend. Their finals run starts now. I think I don't know for sure, but
Yeah,
I
you'd
think that's
assume
where
so.
they'll be coming from. Yeah, because I think it's way too risky for them to
So
go two
does
losses
the
into the
Rabbitohs
finals.
finals mode starts this weekend as well.
They're not playing finals.
They are.
They're not.
They are.
They're not.
Get on it with it. Come on.
All right, let's move on. Let's go to Warriors and Dragons, which was actually a pretty decent game. Like
was.
Dragons put up a fight.
Well, Dragons scoring within the first
Yeah, what
10
about
seconds,
that?
but unfortunately got taken off them. But I said all week, if there was an upset, I reckon this game could be it. Ignoring the Eels game, but I said there's a good chance I could see the Dragons. I think the Warriors have a loss coming. And it's
You've
a
been
shame.
saying for ages that one, Warriors have a loss coming, and two, the Dragons have a win coming. And they almost aligned, just as
They
you
did.
half predicted.
It's not good for the Warriors where I keep saying they have a loss coming because I think they do. It's
Yeah.
not good saying that when they're heading into finals.
They've rested a couple of players this week.
They
So
have.
maybe they
Yeah.
drop one this week and then roll into finals.
Who do they have this
having a
week?
look.
It's the
Fins.
Dolphins, yeah.
It's up the it's up the wires versus Fins up. It's a battle of the ups.
They could lose this. You know what? Yeah, we'll get to the
Like
tip
because they've
soon.
rested them. But yeah, like they got the job done.
Yeah, that's all. It was a pretty boring game, to tell you the truth.
And
Like,
like, as
Warriors
I
did
said,
what they needed to do.
The Dragons have been putting up fights for like the last few weeks. They've been doing well. They play someone this week.
Newcastle.
Yeah,
Dragons
I-
play at Cogra.
And because Knights have rested a couple, I'm like, bit of an ambush there.
That's what's annoying me about finals. Like, South will have to play either the Sharks or the Knights.
Yeah.
And 6 and 7 is always the Sunday game. And I might have to work that full day.
And there'll be an away game.
Yeah, it'll be an away game, but it'll be in either Cronulla or it'll be at Newcastle.
And you have to work.
Possibly on the Sunday.
Surely get work off and go up to
on
Shark
the Sunday.
Park.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if we finish 7th, we'll be at Shark Park on the
Would
Sunday.
you go to Newcastle or nah?
Nah.
But you do
I
Shark
couldn't
Park.
get there last time.
Shark
so-
Park's very close to Wollongong. Like
It
in
is.
terms of
Yeah, I
like
know.
every
Yeah,
stadium.
it's not long at all.
It's like what, the third closest, second closest?
Second closest to Wollongong.
Because
Yeah.
like obviously you got Wynn Stadium
Wynn
in Wollongong,
Stadium's
and then
the closest.
Kogarah would be close as well.
No, I think Cronulla's close.
Yeah, I
Cronulla's
think
closer
so.
than
Yeah,
Kogarah.
it'd be Cronulla, Kogarah, and then like
Then it
Belmore's
gets to
kind of
Allianz and,
close.
yeah, Belmore, I
Because
guess.
Belmore's an
if
hour.
you count that as a real...
Combank.
Oh, nah. Combank's far away.
What's that? I don't think it's that far.
I thought it was
120.
closer than
You reckon?
Combank. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't reckon. It'd be close. Accra's what, like 80, 90 minutes?
Yeah, I reckon direction-wise, Accra's closer.
Yeah, fair enough. Like just like a straight line. as the bird
Yeah,
flies.
as a straight line acca would be closer
okay.
for sure. Surely. Parramatta's more like northwest.
Because Parramatta's a bit west.
Yeah, more
Yeah, I
northwest.
guess maybe
as
as
well.
the crow flies.
You fly over both of them.
So I was going off driving.
Oh, yeah, driving, maybe you're right.
But it'd be close.
Yeah.
It'd be close. This is just hard-hitting rugby league podcasting right here. This is what the listeners
Direction
come
to
for.
which stadium's
Which
closer to where
stadium's
we're
closer
sitting
to
right now.
us, not to the people listening.
Yeah, to us.
Oops. Who's closer to us? I don't really have anything else to say out of this game.
Nah,
to be honest. As I said, it was a bit boring.
Whatever.
Warriors did well. Dragons put up a
Warriors
fight.
need to be better in finals, though, by the way.
I'll back that. Warriors definitely need to be
Like,
better.
I know everyone's on the bandwagon. People want them to win the comp. They're not, I see predictions. Everyone's like, Warriors will win it. They want them to. Doesn't mean they will.
Yeah, no, it is
still
worrying
don't,
for the
I still don't
Warriors.
think they're going to make the grand final.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Nah.
Cowboys and Dolphins. Cowboys absolutely destroyed
They did.
the Dolphins.
Not much to say. Dolphins just very poor ending to the year, really.
Yeah, disappointing. But at the same time, not that disappointing because
They
this
finished
is what we
exactly
expected.
where we expected them to.
Yeah, this is what we expected.
And it's
from
a
the
shame because they
Finns.
started off so well. Everyone's like, gosh, they could play finals. And I was one of those people who backed them. to
Mate,
make
me and
the
you were
eight,
sitting here saying they could win the comp.
I do remember that. Like,
I think we
Yeah.
said we'd look back on it and either be geniuses or idiots. And now we're sitting here looking back on it and we're
I do
idiots.
remember saying that at one point. they
Oh,
could
Wayne Bennett
genuinely
might get
do it.
them up.
Oh, imagine if they did, though.
Yeah, it would've
Just
been good.
imagine if they won it in their first year.
Yeah, it would have been wild. The Cowboys, very, very good. They've realised that they've got to win games to make finals, and they're starting to make it happen, but it might be a little bit too late.
It might be. If they can beat this full-strength Panthers team. Then...
Well, I'm pretty sure if they lose, that's it, eh? They can't make it at all. They have to win.
But if the Roosters win, they need to win. Well, no, it doesn't matter. Like, they'll play finals.
I think they can win
if
and miss
Souths-
out.
So if Souths win, they'll need the Raiders to lose.
Yeah.
Now, if the Roosters win, they'll need to just win.
Yeah. If they win, but
So if
Souths
the Roosters
win, they
win
can
on
miss it.
Friday, I'll be backing the Cowboys all the way. Just
Because
so
they can stop Roosters
Yeah,
from
just so
getting
both
in.
of us miss it. And we're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, what a shame. On to next year.
Yeah, that Raiders-Sharks game on Friday. on
And
Sunday
Raiders have
night
a good record against the Sharks,
will
don't
just
they?
dictate
But
it.
the Sharks always seem to have one terrible game and one good game after. So
Well, Hines is back, and they've just had a shocker, so it'll be interesting. Plenty of good games this week.
yeah.
I'm Toey, Zane.
I think the
Toey.
NRL are just licking their lips with how well they've made this draw this year.
How good is this? I know we've said it all year, but this season, one of the great seasons ever. Honestly,
Can't wait for next year. I really want to see the draw for next year. I know 2 games in round 1, but I want to see the actual full schedule and draw.
You're going to Vegas, hey?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Come on, South. Give me some cash. I can fly over there with
Mate,
the
if
boys.
Roosters can give shout-outs to Patrick Gillespie and Hainsey, the doggies
Yeah,
give
where's
me a
my
shout-out.
shout-out, Rabbitohs?
The Dragons have replied to Julian on TikTok before. Give Zane Potter some respect, South Sydney.
And Ados.
And Ados.
And who else?
And
is there?
Ados.
Who else is there?
I don't. You know him.
Humdinger. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Humdinger.
he gets his respect.
And the Cast Patrol.
Yeah, the
Like,
Cast
so-
Patrol boys, 100%.
Exactly. I wonder why Humdinger gets more respect than we do.
Mate, give the boys some respect. Give him some
I just
respect.
wonder why Humdinger gets more respect than we do.
Give him a
ourselves.
shout out. Zane just wants a shout
Cut
out.
that out.
Zane just wants a shout out. All right, give him a shout out at Zane Potter underscore Zane Potter underscore
Yes.
South Sydney. Give him a shout out.
South
Just on
Sydney
your
till I
story,
die.
shout out at
Right
Zane
there.
Potter. Yeah, look, he's got the tattoo. Maybe you got to post that up and tag South in it. I'll
yeah.
repost it on our Instagram.
Will you?
And tag South and say, give our man some respect.
There we go.
And maybe they'll share it.
Look, I even remember when I did like my thing on Christmas Day where I got teams to
Yeah.
respond. South didn't respond.
Oh, that
Most
is
others-
actually
like
atrocious.
12 of them did, except for South.
So they genuinely just have no respect for you.
Mustn't.
And the Bulldogs are replied the first time, didn't they? But
Yeah.
not the second time.
They replied it. The Warriors do.
Up the wires.
Yeah. Warriors have really good social media.
I'll
I don't
tell
know
you
why
what.
We're just in the social media.
I'll tell you what, Zane. I'll give you a fun little story before we move on. We're just going to brush past that game. I was at a 30th on Saturday night, a bit like a family member's 30th, and I took it upon myself to try and see how many up the wires I could drop into just like conversations throughout the night without anyone noticing. So I set myself. So the challenge was set. 15 up the wires is how many I had to drop.
Yeah.
I get there and my cousin walks in Warriors shorts and just made it really, really easy for me. He's not a Warriors fan either. He's
Just
not a
had the
Warriors
shorts.
fan, but for some reason had wires shorts on and it made saying up the wires very, very easy for me. Well, I think I got like 20 or 30 in throughout
You
the
just
night.
have to go up and say up the bar.
Yeah, I was up the wires. Do you go for the wires? Up the wires. Give me an up the wires. Come on, up the wires. And then, he'd give me an up the wires and I'll give you one back. It was very, very easy. But moving on to Storm and Titans. Another game where the underdog
Titans
put
had
up a
them
fight.
for a while, didn't they? They were really
They
into
did.
it. But then a change happened when
Yeah.
Big Pappy, Mullet Pappy, came on the field and just completely changed the momentum.
100%. Yeah.
All on his own.
100%. He did quite well.
He did.
He did
It's
quite well.
scary.
This is what I've been saying, Zane.
It's scary.
This is what I've been telling you all season. You've been like, I don't know if he'll get back to his best. And to be fair, he isn't back at his best. He might not,
Yes.
but
That's the scary thing.
he also might.
Yes.
He might
So-
get back to his best. He's starting this week. We'll find out.
Storm, yeah.
They're a dark horse.
They're a dark horse, which is weird saying.
Yeah.
It's like the first time we're calling them a dark horse.
Yeah, true. Hey, and like they've rested Munster and Harry Grant, which I thought was weird. To be honest, I thought
I just
you'd
don't
want Pappy.
think- I just
gelling
don't
with them.
think Melbourne deserved to win the comp based off the year they've had, really.
I feel like if you win the comp, you deserve to win the comp.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't.
can't win
want
it without
them to be
deserving
there.
to.
Like I just don't. I think there's teams that deserve to be there more than Storm.
Yeah,
do.
fair.
Like the Broncos.
Yeah,
and
but if they beat those
the
teams, then they
Warriors
sort of
do,
earn
and
it.
the Knights do as well, and the Shark and the Rabbitohs.
Storm are
of course.
top 4.
Yeah, they are.
They're in 4th. They've earned their spot.
Like how? Like I look at their season overall. I'm like they haven't really
It's
had
been
that.
a weird year.
Yeah, like you look at them, you're like, oh, they haven't had that good of a season, but they're still in the top 4.
Yeah.
Like they've had a lot of losses in games that they should have won.
I
pretty
guess
well.
maybe it's just because we have such a high standard for the Storm.
Yeah.
Because of their success
It
over
just
the
doesn't
years.
feel like a normal.
Like for
Storm
their
year.
standards, it does feel a bit off. And like they bowed out of the finals early last year. So yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? It is a weird one. And like their forward pack will like weakened so much for this season. Do you know what I mean?
Like it's very inexperienced.
Yeah. But they've done enough to get into 4th. And if
They've-
Pappenhausen fires, which
they're-
like he
they're
changed the
dangerous.
game on the weekend.
They're dangerous.
He's got a presence.
Yeah, they could get a win. I reckon they are going to get a win this week as well.
I don't know. They're resting. Both teams rested heaps.
I know.
It's proper just reserve
But there's
grade.
one man playing fullback for the Storm who I think will carry them in this game.
And it could be a real confidence booster for him.
Exactly.
It could be huge.
However, the Titans, what do you think of them?
They did well. Like they, as you said, until he came on.
Yeah, but they
were
do this.
in it.
They're like this in most
Yeah.
games. They're into it, but they just can't get it done. Like I saw a post from Rugby League, in my opinion, saying, and it was regarding the Seagulls and the Titans, like they haven't been good enough to be considered a good team, but they haven't been bad enough to be like criticised.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah.
they weren't overly good, but they weren't bad enough either to earn like a negative spotlight. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're just there this year, the Titans and the Seagulls.
No, I thought they did all right.
Like I
And
know they sacked their coach, but like it was an improvement from last year.
I think there's always an issue with clubs when you lose by 20 points and you think, oh, that was all right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it happens to the Bulldogs all the time. We'll lose by 20. I'm like, oh, we did all right. And that's not where you want the club standards to be.
Yeah, well,
And I
that's
think-
what it's been. That's the issue being with the Titans.
And I think
for
that's why they got rid of Holbrook to try and say, no, ninth isn't good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Being in games isn't good enough. We want to win games. We want to win comps. We want to play finals footy.
I know.
And
That's,
so
I think that's what
it looks
the
like they're
Titans-
turning
they
a
need
leaf.
to stop being this, friendly team and just finishes 13th
Yeah.
every year and start, actually pushing for finals every
Yeah.
year, top 4 every year. Because
Yeah.
it's been long enough now where they've used the whole rebuilding excuse or building excuse
Mm.
in general. Like it's been way too long now. They've been around for nearly 2 decades.
It's go time.
Yeah.
I think, and we've said it a couple of times, but Des Hasler coming in, locking up Tino and Fafita, it could be go time.
Yeah, it could be.
They could fire.
I said this under Neil Henry as
Yeah, I
well,
know.
Joe Tom and Garth Brennan and Justin Holbrook,
Yeah.
and it just hasn't happened. So you never know. Des is probably the best coach they've ever had. Their greatest coach of all time. So
He's a good coach.
we'll have to wait and see.
It'll be very. They're one of the teams I'll be excited to see how they go next year.
Yeah. So
Like
I
with
had
Des
I had
Hasler
high
coming
hopes
in.
from this year.
You had very high hopes
Like,
for them.
the fact that I just thought they'd really improve their spine. Their spine is pretty good. Like AJ Brimson, like one of the most underrated players in the game. I'm like, they've got it in them to.
I feel like they've been
push
injury
for the
affected
eighth.
a bit.
They have.
Like Brumo and
Brumo's
Foran.
been out a lot this
Yeah.
year. Like he's been in and out.
But then they've got Campbell replacing him. He's a gun though, so it's not really an excuse.
It's just, I just think there's more. They're just not used to winning. That's the problem with them.
Culture thing, like
Yeah.
the Bulldogs. Yeah,
Exactly.
maybe. I think like Des Hasler coming in, I think can really help him out. I think that's a really good
Yeah.
signing.
Perfect.
As we've
forward.
said so much already, but just stay
I just
patient.
can't
Titans
imagine
fans.
him like as a Titans coach. Like you just think of Manly when you think of
Yeah, I
it.
can't picture him in their merch.
And we'll see it very soon though, won't we?
And then the Storm, as we sort of said, we sort of touched on it, but I just want to know, can they win the comp?
I think they can.
Yeah?
I think they can if they
Are you more confident about them winning the comp after this game? Like
last week, yes.
Are you more confident now than you were a week ago?
With Pappy back, yeah, much more.
Yeah, same.
But I just feel like there's going to be a game in the finals that they're expected to win and they lose.
Like last year.
Not even that, just like it has been for the entire season.
Yeah.
Like they're going to come up, they'll come up against like the Raiders or something and all the Sharks.
That's what happened last year. They lost to the Raiders week
South,
1.
like they'll come up against one of those
Well,
sides.
they won't be playing Souths.
Well, no, if South finish 8th and they...
Souths won't make the finals. They can't play Storm.
They can. If South finish 8th and Melbourne lose the first week, we'll play them. So we're more likely going to have to play either Melbourne or Penrith in the second
I don't know.
week.
I reckon Souths or Roosters, whoever wins, is more likely to come 7th.
Roosters can't.
Can't they? No, yeah, they can.
Oh, yeah, they can.
They
actually,
both
yeah.
can.
Yeah,
Because of the
Raiders,
for and against.
yeah.
Because they jump
So
Raiders.
we'll come 7th and have to play over the Panthers, Broncos, or Warriors. I wouldn't mind that side of the draw, actually, because I'm more confident about playing the Broncos. But we'll talk about finals previews next week, obviously.
Yeah,
we don't know what's happening yet.
Moving on to
Both our teams may not
your
be
favourite team.
Both our teams may not be in the finals, so there'll be no bias.
My
about
team
it.
might.
Oh, no. There'll be no bias next week with it, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, there definitely won't be any bias from me.
Well, from you at least.
And there could be from you.
Could be.
There probably won't be from you.
There might be a
but-
bit of taste in my mouth as well. So
Yeah, there could be bias either way from you.
Yeah.
There will be. I think I can almost guarantee there will be.
yeah.
But speaking of one of your favourite teams, the Sydney Roosters, Zane.
Yeah.
The Sydney Roosters.
How good.
They defeated the
Tigers
West-
got off to a flying
Tigers
start
in
here,
an
and I'm
epic
like, "Ooh,
blockbuster.
Wow, the Tigers look up for this, but look, I wasn't convinced by them in this game, the Roosters. I don't know if you were.
They won 32-8.
I know it was 32-8, but early in the game they weren't convinced.
Yeah, early in the game, Tigers were in it. 100%.
Like, it wasn't until that Sam Walker try, which like it was a good try, but that Tigers defense in that
Yeah.
was terrible trying to tackle him.
Yeah.
Like Sam Walker's a tiny man. I could tackle him, and that was it. But from there, you know, Roosters just ran away with it all over him. Jared Hargraves once again. No, he missed him. Sorry.
What did he get? 7 weeks?
Yeah, but he missed him.
Did he?
Missed him, bro. Yeah.
Who said that?
Hainsey, hey?
Oh, he got 7 weeks for missing him, Hainsey, you reckon? Share that, Hainsey. I know you watch. I know you're a big fan. I know you're yelling at your phone or laptop at the moment as we talk about your mighty Roosters.
Are you sure he missed him? We'll insert the photo in. Did he miss him?
Yeah, send it to me. Send it to me on Snapchat so I can insert it
What
in.
about this one? Did he miss him? Did he miss him then?
I've got a question for you, Zane, in reference to this game. We were talking earlier about how, like, obviously the South Sydney content creators, you got you, Ados, Humdinger, a couple of others.
Cast Patrol.
Cast Patrol. Bulldogs, you got me, Emilio, Jason, Hectic Fred, the
Peter.
Touchline boys, Peter Bulldog. Shout out Peter Bulldogs if you're watching.
Like, you know, Dragons have Julian,
Dragons have
trademark.
Julian and Trademark. Manly, if you want to get,
Manly got
you
like
got
Darlo, Paddy
Hello
G.
Sport, even
Paddy G, Hello Sport.
Yeah.
Who do Panthers have?
cricket noises. But you know, you know who
Cowboys
Sid-
have Chris Thomas and Nick from Australia. Like, you know.
Yeah. Every
is
club-
does Chris Thomas even count as one?
Yeah, 100%. He's like the face of the Cowboys. I'm sorry. You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be
You
a
know,
positive
Titans have
influence.
BKR,
He is.
Clarkey.
Yeah, exactly,
Like, Who else
exactly.
is in Titans? BK Clark.
Is it just them?
I think there's one more.
Is there any
there's
other
the
Titans
fat guy
fans?
who took his shirt off?
Oh
and-
yeah, Ryan.
Yes.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say Ryan
Ryan.
Gosling, but it's not Ryan Gosling. But it's like something Gosling or Ryan.
Ryan
something.
Gosling might support the Titans,
Ryan
you never
Gosling.
know.
Bulldogs have Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
But the Roosters, they have 3, I'd say. 2 in particular. I'm going to go to
Who's the third
3.
one, though?
Sports Shed TV.
Oh yeah. Norman.
But you got Norman from Sports Shed TV, and then you got the great man Brendan Hainsey,
Yeah.
and you got Patrick Gillespie.
Yes.
Now both those men were featured on the Roosters social media over the
South.
weekend.
When am I gonna get my shout out?
One more so than the other. My question for you, Zane: who is a bigger influence for the Roosters, Hainsey or Patrick
It's tough
Gillespie?
seeing as Hainsey's in the chook bend every game with the big signs, you know, Lachees, keep Australia beautiful, those rubbish banners.
But is he as influential as
Whereas
Patrick
Paddy
Gillespie?
is probably more
Like, who's more
iconic
well
for his-
known?
You know, he's you beauty. Like, it's a tough question.
Simply just cannot
I'm
wait.
just going to be biased and say Hainsey because I know him a lot more and I know how passionate he is towards the Roosters.
I reckon Patrick Gillespie.
You reckon?
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Let us know. I reckon it's Hainsey.
Shout out to you. I know Hainsey's watching
I
this
reckon
and he's
Hainsey's
angry.
the Roosters content creator.
Yeah, 100. Nah, Hainsey puts in the work. He gets a lot of hate, and I don't appreciate it because he puts in the work.
But he hates South as well. So
I don't see anyone else flying down every second week.
Flies
like
down.
he lives in Brisbane and didn't miss a Roosters home game.
Flew to everyone.
Like, that is a knock. I don't know if I'd do that if I lived in Brisbane. So shout out to him. Shout out to Hainsey. Friend of the show. He's been on it. He's a friend of the show. But yeah, the Roosters, they got the job done against the Tigers. Obviously, the Tigers' premiership hopes are probably over by now. And the Roosters
they can still play finals, trust me. Tim Sheens is back in it. They can still play finals.
Tim Sheens and the CEO handing out lollipops. Probably shouldn't say that. We might get a cease and desist order.
Oh, yeah.
Might get done for defamation.
We say about the Tigers, don't we?
The Roosters, though, marching on into finals. The finals run is in full swing. They'll be there.
They've got to beat the Rabbitohs, which won't happen. So
they'll be there. There's no drama at the club at the moment. They're just in full swing. They've found form.
Won't happen.
They're going to win the comp. Like I said at the start of the season.
It won't happen.
I said at the start of the year the Roosters win the comp, and I stand by it.
But they're not beating South.
All right, Zane.
Won't happen.
Raiders and Broncos down in the nation's capital.
Very weird game, wasn't it?
Very.
Like, Raiders they're not good. Like, why are they in the 8? Like, they just shouldn't be. I just don't rate them that much.
You don't rate them?
I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, nah. Well, and they could fall out.
They could.
They might fall out.
They don't deserve to play finals. Like, I will admit, the Roosters probably deserve to play finals more.
What happens for them to miss out? Is it if they lose their out?
If they lose to the Sharks,
it's Cowboys have to win.
If Cowboys win, yeah.
It's got to be Cowboys win and Raiders lose because Souths and Roosters, one of them is guaranteed to jump over Raiders if Raiders lose.
Yeah.
And then Cowboys also have to jump for Raiders to miss the finals. So, like, they can miss it. The Panthers are full strength. But
imagine Sticky if they miss it.
Blow ups.
Oh, God, yeah. I'll be prepared.
Horsburgh suspended as well.
Yeah.
What about
Tarpany.
Reece Walsh at the end. I was about to say.
I'm glad he did that. Yeah. Like, I remember a few years ago when Turbo did his hammy and South players just let him get to the ground. I would have ran over there and just tackled him anyway.
Well, I think back to Manu, I think it was last year or maybe earlier this year where he pretended to be hurt and then ran through and scored.
Against the Dragons.
And I think because of that, he's set a precedent where maybe they're faking, just jam him. It was play on.
Well, Walsh wasn't faking an injury. It was just slowing
but you don't know because of what Manu did. Like, you just don't know. It's just safer to tackle him, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was play on. It was fair game. And then he got up and just, like Reece Walsh, I think, saw the humour in it.
Yeah.
But it was a hit. That's the funny bit. It was a hit. Like, there's that angle where he just comes flying across the screen like a train.
Sticky when that happened.
Well, they got some good footage of Sticky, as we touched on
he wasn't
earlier.
Happy about it. He didn't like the cameras being there, Sticky.
Yeah, not a fan of. I'll tell you what. There's a few things Ricky Stewart doesn't like: chairs, cameras,
water bottles,
and weak gutted dogs.
Yeah, and dogs.
And dogs and water bottles. Yeah, he's not a fan of it. Was he the one that threw a bottle out the window?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
It was him,
That
obviously.
was wild, bro. Man, he's a character. I love Ricky Stewart. The Broncos. So actually,
Broncos
let's stay on the Raiders for a second. Are they going to play finals? We just sort of did the equation.
We have to talk about Oh, yeah.
You reckon they'll play?
I don't know why I had to think of it because I don't think Cowboys are
okay. And then do you reckon they just bow out week 1?
They'll more than likely play the Knights. So, yeah. They might play Sharks in back-to-back
weeks.
weeks.
Be an away game.
There's 2 teams that could play back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Broncos Storm.
Yeah.
And if things kept going our way, like I looked at this like 3 weeks ago, South and Roosters could have played each other back-to-back weeks.
They did that like last year as well.
But have you noticed, history says that when teams play each other back-to-back weeks, the team that lost the week before,
it's happened a few times.
Happens most of the time.
Yeah.
So keep that in note next week.
Yeah. It usually reverses.
Storm Broncos game could be very, very detrimental.
Because what has to happen for them to play each other? Broncos have to win.
The minor premiership.
Yeah.
Next week will be a blockbuster, trust me.
An absolute blockbuster.
Sense an upset.
Yeah. And it'll be in Brisbane.
And Storm don't lose back to back.
And that's the thing as well. It'll be both games at Suncorp.
Yeah.
Because this week's at Suncorp.
That'll be
hectic. But then 2 completely different teams.
Exactly. So we'll have to
wait. And like Storm don't lose back to back. They don't lose back to back. They don't lose at Suncorp.
They don't lose back to back, especially South can beat them at Suncorp.
Yeah.
But they don't lose back to back to the same team, which hasn't been proven yet. So let's wait and see how it goes.
And then Broncos. Obviously, we are getting I know we're getting a little bit tipsy, but
Without Reynolds and Carrigan, they were good.
Are they going to get the minor premiership?
I'm going to say no.
And then are they
I'm going to say
still
no.
a premiership threat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
And still
Definitely
a premiership threat?
are.
As
And
you
I think
just
they're
went
the
to
only
say,
team at the moment that can challenge Penrith.
that win, firstly, they got to win without Adam Reynolds the other week. And now
Carrigan.
they've done it without Carrigan and Reynolds as well. Confidence booster.
It is confident.
Huge.
Yeah.
And like a decent win as well.
I think they can do it. I think the grand final is like locked and loaded for what it's going to be.
I think, like as I said, we're getting very early in on the predictions, but I think it's Panthers, Broncos.
The prelim finals will be Broncos. Not Broncos, Panthers. One will be Broncos, South, and the other will
Broncos.
Broncos, South,
Roosters.
Panthers. But South will lose, as they always do in the prelims.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll worry about the grand final, which I think at this point should be Broncos, Panthers.
Yeah, I think
And
it'll
I
be Broncos,
want it to be that
Panthers.
because it'll be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, it'll be good. We'll do next week is finals preview. It'll be red hot. I think just while I'm here, I think the way we're going to do it, what I'm thinking is we'll do a finals preview next week, and then all the teams that have been eliminated, we'll just circle back to them after the season's done and do a season review. So like the Bulldogs, for example, we just won't talk about them for a month.
Yeah. Then we'll do that at the back end of the year.
Yeah.
Possibly get some special guests on as
Yeah,
well.
100%.
I know. We've been doing our research and trying to get in contact with some of them. I know Winston's got connections with a few.
So
Dogs
many,
guys.
mate. I'm just best friends with all the Bulldog players.
I know possibly some South guys we could drag down the Wollongong if I wanted to, before they head off to Bali.
Bulldogs, speaking of the Bulldogs Manly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep. Okay. And then Knight
Doesn't want
Sharks.
to talk about that. Manly were all over me.
Yeah.
I tipped the Dogs as well, which is a
How
big
good
mistake.
was Kohler at fullback? He was brilliant.
I tipped the Dogs this week, which was a big mistake.
You never tip the Bulldogs. That's my life
Final
advice.
home game of the year, they're going to be fans there, fans on field, which don't know how that went, fans on field.
It went brilliantly.
Yeah. And I love how Souths had to do theirs in round 11 because we don't get a day home game for the rest of the year.
Why
We had the Cowboys
yeah,
run, but by
you
the
can't
time,
really do it at night.
Yeah, exactly. It was night by the end. So we had the 2 hours in round 11.
They don't really do them at that core.
Oh, they
Not
do.
that frequently. Do Souths often do it? Because the Bulldogs haven't done it in years.
They only do it once a year, though. Not
Yeah, okay.
usually,
We haven't done it in ages at that core.
We
but
just
do it
don't
at
get
Melbourne.
any day games. That's why. We literally had to do it round 11.
Well, that's like Roosters did theirs. They did another one. They've done a couple. Eels
Dragons
did one
do
the
it
other
a
day.
lot. Eels
Yeah.
do it. Yeah,
It's good.
They always do it they only do it when there's no event on within next week
Yeah,
or so.
but I can do it though. It's just
fun.
good.
Going on the core field, it's so
Like
good.
from a club perspective, it costs nothing.
Like when I walked on with all the Burrow boys, we were walking around just reminiscing all the moments that have happened on this patch of grass, like Kyle Phelps' corner, and Greg Inglis's Goanna corner, and
no, it's cool, especially that
Troll
cool.
Mitts kicking Luke Garner's head, that side of the field, into all those spots.
But yeah, Zane, Manly just too good for the Bulldogs.
Yes,
Too good.
too good.
In fact,
42-24.
you could almost say the Bulldogs were just too garbage.
They were rubbish.
The defence
They were
just-
the worst team this week.
You reckon?
Worse than Tigers, yes. They were terrible.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, yeah. They scored 24 points, so
But
that's the
they're
thing.
all consolation tries.
Not all of them. They scored the first try of the game.
Yeah, they
Jake
did.
Averillo's wasn't. There were 2 consolation
But you
tries.
didn't. Oh no, Good Friday as well.
But Matt Burton, cheeky. I think he scored 2 or 3. I swear he got a hat trick on Good Friday as well. Matt Burton.
I think he
and
got a
Trell.
double.
But he definitely
No,
got at
he
least
couldn't
2.
have got a hat trick because he got 16 and Averillo scored your first one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he
No,
got a double
fair shout.
because I know he got the intercept
Yeah.
one and he might have got another
Yeah,
one.
he definitely got at least 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bulldogs
And he
just
scored 3 on that day.
the Bulldogs just not good, just not good enough at all. The story of the season, obviously, at the very start of the episode, we went over all the drama. We won't go over it again.
Just a rubbish year.
I'm
And
just
there was
ready
such
for
high
it
hopes
too.
him
I'm
as
ready to
well.
move on next year. As I said it a couple months ago. The good thing about all this is that them going so bad this year means that they're low odds on Picklebet to win the comp next year. And it's 2024, which means they're guaranteed to win the comp. So you just put your house on it and you get way more money than you probably should have.
On Orange Fields, we hear this every week.
Mate,
It's always,
I've been saying it for
next year.
10 years.
Won't happen.
Why would I change my mind after 10 years
Will
just
not
because they're going
happen.
garbage?
They will not win the competition in
They
2024.
literally will, though. It's a universal pattern.
It won't happen because the Rabbitohs are about to go on a three-peat.
They're
2023,
really not.
2024, 2025.
Jack Whiten doesn't even want to come to the Rabbitohs.
He does.
He
He
doesn't.
wants to be with his cousins and that.
Nah, but
he's happy to come Jack White, and he's going to get Clive Churchill in the 2024 Grand Final against the Brisbane Broncos, I predict.
well, that just doesn't make any sense.
Actually, no, sorry, it's going to be Sharks Rabbitohs Grand Final this year, isn't it?
Yeah,
I haven't been wrong yet.
You standing by that?
I haven't been wrong.
I don't really have anything else to say. As I said, we went over everything for the Bulldogs at the start of the episode, and then Manly, like they can't play finals. So
Yeah,
I'm
whatever.
like, and you mentioned
Just a dead rubber game.
You mentioned how good Daly Cherry Evans was at the start of the episode as well. So I'll tell you what, if you're tuning into this, if you've skipped ahead to hear us talk about Bulldogs and Manly, just go back to the start of the episode, listen to the first 5 minutes, and then turn it off. Knights, Sharks to round off the round. What'd you make of this
Did
one?
you see this coming? This sore scoreline?
No.
My God, the Knights.
No. I know he's like, Nico Hines
I
was
remember
down.
when I said if the Knights win the comp, I'll streak the field naked at the grand final. And
Yeah.
Go kiss Joey Johns.
Yeah, you did say that.
I did say
you
that.
You say a lot of dumb things. Like, you're going to have to wear a Roosters hat next week.
Why will I? Where are we going to get a Roosters hat from?
I'm pretty sure the deal... Well, Haynes will bring you one. The deal was... I'll have to go and review it, but I hope it wasn't that you meant to wear one this week. It was... Was the deal that if it was South Roosters, you'd wear one, or if it was
No, it's
Roosters
if we
win?
lost.
So if you lose to the Roosters.
Yeah.
If Roosters make the finals and you don't.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even if they made the finals. It was just if we lost.
Literally,
that
if
game.
Roosters won. Okay, well, we'll have a Roosters hat for you next week.
See, this shows how rigged the NRL is. Just they deliberately made it so that this game, it's a fight for the eight.
I've heard a lot about the NRL
Can you
being
tell me
rigged.
just how, like, every time the Roosters and Rabbitohs play, there's always something it's meaning, like, for. Like, last
Always.
year, it was the final. It was like,
Yeah.
like it's just ridiculous.
Lots of narrative.
It's very suspicious, isn't it?
I've heard a couple of people online talking about the NRL rigging games. One person in particular.
Do you reckon the NRL is pre-planned at the start of each year? It's all fake and the results are decided.
Apparently,
then,
it's just the higher ups. Just it's just all for our
like in
entertainment, and they
games
just
where you
make
think
it as
it might be
entertaining as
rigged,
possible.
just look at the 50-50 calls and see how they go.
I don't think it's rigged, but there are people that out there. Apparently, there's a transcript. That's what I've been told. In terms of the Eels beating the Panthers a lot,
It's a transcript.
there
about
was
it.
a certain folk in the rugby league content game, Emilio, was saying that he thinks they rig it with like Eels always beating Panthers. He thinks that Eels
very-
pay off the
real
NRL to beat the
conspiracy theorist,
Panthers.
isn't he?
Yeah, loves a conspiracy theory. But yeah, he thinks because like Eels do always beat Panthers, and he's finding it a bit sus. But
They always beat the Dogs as well.
He mentioned everyone always beats the Dogs. He said there's a transcript, and I don't know what the transcript refers to, but interesting.
I was talking about how the Roosters fans are so obsessed with South.
Yeah.
It's like we don't care about them. They care
Yeah.
about us. Like they're looking at our social media all the time.
I don't know. You literally just
I know
randomly brought
Tyler
up the
from
Roosters.
TJC Sports said the same thing about the Dogs and Eels. The Dogs fans hate on the Eels fans all the time, but yet the Eels fans just don't care. It's the Dogs fans that hate on them.
I don't really. Not me.
Mostly,
But
it's,
I know
it's the
yeah,
Dogs
there's-
fans that go for them.
there's some,
The
yeah.
Eels fans just
Nah.
laugh. They
Well,
don't
like
care.
round one, there was a bunch of Doggies fans that turned up to the Eels store.
Exactly.
It's like, bruh,
Exactly.
what's doing it? But you've bloody put that effort into.
Like when you get
Going to the
Roosters
Dogs game.
fans sitting in the borough, like it's just annoying.
It was
And Dogs
literally
fans do it as well.
Like
But
the Dogs played in Sydney that week against Manly, and those fans that were at the Eels game didn't go to the Bulldogs
Oh, no.
game. And to their credit, though,
and it's happening.
the ones that went
it's
to
happening
the
again this Friday.
the ones that went to the Eels game go to like every Bulldogs home game and a lot of the away games, but that week they didn't go to the Bulldogs game.
And
Oh no, Emilio did. Sorry, Emilio was at the Manly game.
Yeah.
Credit where it's due. Emilio was.
no, but it's happening this Friday. You know,
What do you mean?
there's Dogs fans coming with their flags to Bunnies.
I think bringing their
Roosters.
flags. I knew some of
I'm
them were
pretty
going.
sure they are.
Just like because it's a big game. I didn't know they were taking their flags though.
Yeah, God.
I'd be, if like I was going to go and if I went, I'd wear a Bulldogs jersey, but I wouldn't take a flag.
Like, I've said this with Hainsey. Like, I don't care what the grand final is this year. This is the grand final.
It's got a bit of
NRL.
grand final feel about
This
it.
is the real grand final. Like, we just need South and Roosters to play in a real grand final one day. It needs to happen.
Well, it won't
to
happen this
save the
year
league.
because unfortunately Souths aren't making
No, it
the
won't happen
finals.
this year, but a lot of people predicted it early in the year, which is a dumb prediction because Roosters were never going to get there.
Well, Roosters are winning the comp.
No.
But anyway,
they're not.
back to Knights and Sharks. The Knights, are they premiership threat?
Yeah, they are.
You reckon?
They are.
I don't think they are.
I reckon they are.
I don't think they are. I think they're the Sharks the last year. I think they'll go out and who they play week one?
They'll play either the Roosters, Souths, Cowboys, possibly Raiders.
I'll give you a tip. Knights lose week one.
You reckon? I said I reckon the
I'm
seam's
not
going to
buying
run
it.
out eventually, but I reckon it's going to be week 2.
I'm not buying the
They'll
hype.
play either. They could possibly play the Warriors over in New Zealand.
They're not winning
Actually, no,
that.
they can't. They'll play either the Storm or the
They'll
Panthers or the Broncos.
definitely be out within 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Well, you just said they're a premiership threat.
No, but what I mean is like they could bring those games really tight.
You got to win them to win the comp. Do you reckon they can win the comp?
No,
Because
okay, so I'll
I
take
think
that
they're
back.
going out in 2 weeks max. 1 or 2 weeks.
They've been playing good though.
They're not beating Broncos or Storm.
They beat the Storm
Definitely
recently.
not. They're not. They won't beat them again. No way.
Okay.
And I don't think they'll beat Souths or Roosters.
if they played again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my take. That's my hot take. What about the Sharks? What are they doing this year?
Just going out first week.
You reckon?
I reckon.
Who would they play? Raiders.
They'll play Raiders back-to-back weeks, or they'll play South or the Roosters, which will be at Shark Park. Like they basically
See,
locked,
I think
they
yeah, I don't
basically
know.
locked in 6th spot. Actually, no, they could still get 5th.
I need to
The
see
Knights
Sharks play this weekend. I need to see how they react to this game, to the Knights game, because I don't
I think
know.
they go out first week regardless.
They were looking
so.
good before this game. That's the thing. So I don't
they
know.
have a game where they play really well, and the
Yeah.
next week they're rubbish.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
just
why I
really
want to
nice
see how
to
they go
win.
this week. They need some consistency.
So this week will be their good game. And then
As it
next
stands,
week will
it's
be their
hard to
bad
see them
game.
doing anything. They're
they're not-
another team. They're not going 2 weeks, past
Oh,
2
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right. Let's do some rugby league predictions, Zane. We've basically been sitting here doing our tips this whole time anyway, but let's do our official tips. Before we do it, let's give a shout out to our other favourite sponsor, Picklebet.
Picklebet.
Shout out to Picklebet.
Use code HOTDOG or HOTDOG1. Sorry.
No,
yeah.
no, it's just hot dog.
Oh, okay.
Hot dog 1.
I thought you said HOTDOG1.
It's hot dog 10
HOTDOG 10.
for
Sorry.
vintage thread
Yes.
for 10%
Yes,
off.
that's what I was thinking.
Picklebet, just code hot dog. You can jump on any of our bets on Picklebet. You can make your own bets on Picklebet. They've got plenty of markets. I've got a cheeky bet of the week market that people might not even know you can bet on, but you can. We'll get to that a bit later. But if you're going to have a bet, do it responsibly.
Do it with
Always
Picklebet.
gamble responsibly. But yeah, do it with Picklebet, obviously. Chances are you are about to lose. Can confirm probably will lose a lot, especially if you follow my tips. If you're having any trouble gambling, if you're getting it a bit carried away, make sure you call 1-800-858-858 for help. Or just have a bit of fun. You don't have to get carried away. Just sign up to Picklebet and just have, a couple of small bets, just $1, $2 bets, just to make the
Exactly.
games a bit more entertaining. That's what I do. But yeah, use code HOTDOG,
Win
sign up.
$10,
Yeah, you turn $2 into $4 and Bob's your uncle. All right, Broncos Storm, Zane. Where's this one go?
I reckon with Little Marlet Pappy, the Storm will get them in this game at least.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
worth
going to
noting
Storm.
that both teams have rested that many players. It's
And
not funny.
scoring, the guy they're shopping off, I'm going Justin Olam to
Is
go
it-
over. His name to play.
Margin.
Won the 12.
Also, is this his first game back?
Yeah, in a little while.
Because he's been playing Carp longer than Paps has.
Yeah,
So that's interesting. Did he get dropped or was he injured?
he got dropped,
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
which is a shame because 2 years ago he was one of the best centers in the game.
He was literally centre of the year. I remember at the Dally M's, he got, they didn't nominate him. And then everyone was like, what the heck, NRL? He's been the best centre this year. And then the NRL were like, oh, there was an error. And then he ended up getting nominated and ended up winning. So that was interesting. But I'm also going Storm 1 to 12. I'm going Pappy. In his
score.
first game back at fullback,
I reckon he'll score.
I think he'll get over. Especially, you look at the Broncos side. This is just another Queensland Cup game for him, really. So I think he'll get over. Manly Tigers. Manly coming off one of the biggest wins in NRL history.
Who cares about this game? That's how I describe it. This is not the real Friday night game.
Yeah.
Let's just say at home.
This is like, you talk about going to, say you go
This
out
is like
for,
the touch match at the charity match.
say you go
really.
out to, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, it's not even the game before the charity match.
It's just the
it's
touch
the
game.
game before the game before the charity match. It's like,
Just Manly 13 plus, and probably DC will score. End of the season on a high.
I actually nearly went DCE. I'm also on Manly 13 plus, but I nearly went DCE, but I ended up
Could
going
the Tigers
Kohler.
win this though?
No,
You don't reckon any chance?
they're done, bro. I think Manly, they're looking good.
Yeah.
Like they played really good on the weekend.
they
Despite
were
like Bulldogs
playing-
were
they were
bad.
playing a dog.
No, but like you're forgetting about how bad the Bulldogs were. Manly were good as well. And then they've had a couple of decent games. South Roosters.
Game of the round.
I'm
you'd say?
scared to
Is
ask.
this game of the round?
Zane Potter. This is game of the year.
This, you reckon?
This is game of the year so far. Easily. This is semi-finals come early. Winner plays finals footy.
So we had top 9
Losers
gone.
gone.
So even if we lose, South technically still did play finals this year because it's top 9.
Mate, this is the biggest rivalry in rugby league outside of State of Origin, playing each other a week before finals to make the finals. Literally name a bigger game.
Tell me who you're backing.
Name a bigger regular season game ever.
I reckon Titans versus Warriors. Titans versus Dolphins. Nah, I'm kidding. Tell me, what's your tip in this game? I can name a bigger Roosters Rabbitohs game. The 2013 round 26. The winner got the minor premiership.
I think this is bigger. This is to make finals.
And that game got 56.
Nobody cares about the minor premiership. We want premierships in rugby league.
56,000. I don't think they're getting this much.
The winner of this game can still win the comp. The loser can't.
Yeah.
That's bigger than minor premierships.
Tell me who you're backing.
Zane, I told you before we kicked off what my prediction is. And I just want to say before I give it, I've got no idea who's winning this game. I've got no idea, Zane. This is
it's going to be
like,
so
not
good.
only is it that big of a game.
Such a shame you can't come to
Mate,
this.
the markets are like, it is 50-50. Picklebet can't split. Picklebet can't decide who's going to win. I think it's like, South's like $1.90 something. Roosters are $2. Like, it is so tight. It's incredible. I cannot wait for this one. Cannot wait.
Such a shame you can't get
toey,
there.
bro. I've never been this toey for a non-Bulldogs game. Honestly, like regular season, I'm fired up. My prediction, game of the year, this has been the best season.
Explained it to me.
This has been the best season in rugby league, Zane, that I can remember. Would you agree?
Yeah.
This has been a hectic year. I remember the first game of this year was the Storm Eels game that went to Golden Point. Harry Grant scores a try to win it. The season started high and it's been a roller coaster of a season. All year we've been saying, all year we've been saying that it'll be this close come the end of the season, and here we are. It's as close as I thought it would be, and the season deserves a hectic ending. This is a season finale, and it's going to be the best season finale out of any TV show ever.
You're hyping this game up.
South Roosters, Golden Point, Zane. Golden Point.
I think I'll be on the floor dead by this point if this happens.
And I'm going the Roosters to win by a field goal. The Roosters to win it in Golden Point. I think the most likely to kick a field goal would be Luke Keary. But there'd be a bit of narrative if it was Sam Walker, who's only just come back into the side. Saves the season.
Nail him.
I'll go one further.
I think we're a good shot as long as Jairo doesn't get the ball.
I think Lockie Ellis will miss a field goal and then Roosters will kick one.
Oh, yeah, that's just dramatic.
And the whole.
I think we kick it as long as we don't pass it.
And I can see the headlines.
I've seen Jairo try and kick a field goal before. It's never going to happen again.
I can see the headlines after the game. Latrell Mitchell fails South Sydney. He would have kicked the field goal if he was there.
He would.
Lets them down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
there's narrative in yarn. My try scorer, I don't even care about the try scorer, but my try scorer is Tup. Daniel Tupou. But yeah, I got Roosters winning in Golden Point. That's my prediction. What about you, Zane? I wonder who you're tipping.
I'm going to the Bunnies, 1-12. Because we're winning, like it's obvious. They come out of a blind to the next week. And guess who I'm back in the school? Not 1, not 2, 3 tries.
Who?
AJ.
AJ.
Get that Ken Irvine medal. Remember 2020? He needed 5 tries to get it, and he got it in the game.
Who was that against?
The Roosters. And guess how much points South put on the Roosters when Troll didn't play last time? 60. We put 60 on them last time Troll didn't play.
That's true. That's a fair point.
And I'm also going to be backing 2 players who haven't scored yet this year. You're right, they're ducks. Jai Arrow.
Wait, so you're just picking 5 try scorers?
I'm going AJ 3 tries.
Yeah.
Jai Arrow and Michael Cheekham will score as well.
Zane's going nuts, ladies and gentlemen.
Jai Arrow, get up and maybe do a bit of a bark like a dog. You know, he's the new dog in town.
In memory of his coach's dead dog.
Yeah, so whatever happens, I'm back in South to win. And I bloody hope we do, because I do not want to have our season ended to the Roosters, especially.
Yeah,
I reckon 40,000. The Borough is sold out as well, by the way. Sold out.
Sold out.
You cannot get tickets there anymore.
In the Borough.
Yeah. Well, like they've shut it off getting tickets there.
Yeah, wow. That is incredible.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
The Chook Pen still has a lot of tickets available.
Well, they don't go to games.
They don't go to games. Yeah, but the highest attendance in Sydney this year. I'm sure if every team got a new stadium, they'd get attendance. But
They hosted round 1 against South. They Magic Round as a home team, and they had Anzac Day as a home team. So,
Yeah.
it's like,
Doesn't matter though.
I hope you have a high attendance.
I reckon they can get 40,000 here.
Do you know what the next game is, Zane?
For Saturday game. It is the
This is a regularly knowledge test.
Sorry, I know it, but
I believe in you. You got this.
it's the Dogs, isn't it? Dogs Titans? No. It's not Cowboys Panthers.
Is it?
I think they're 5:30, aren't
Have a look. Because my NRL app has actually crashed.
they? Okay, it's Dolphins Warriors.
It's Dolphins Warriors.
I knew that, by the way, but
Dolphins Warriors. I'm going Warriors 1 to 12.
I'm going Warriors on the 12, although I do have a feeling Dolphins could win this.
Yeah. What about a try scorer?
Shans. If he's playing, actually.
No, he's not.
Okay, well then
He's out.
Oh, shit, okay. Well, sorry.
Oh, this is falling apart.
Actually, you know who I might go for someone from the losing team.
Mm.
Jermaine Asako.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's what I've got down as
You
well.
said that like it was a big surprise.
I said it like that because that's what I've got down.
Oh.
We've got the same multi for that game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's make it our multi of the week then.
Next game,
Cowboys Panthers.
Panthers 13 plus.
Same. I reckon.
Like they're full strength.
I reckon they'll win 13 plus.
I'm gonna go Toto.
Gosh, I'm gonna go to Ruva. Go to the other side. I reckon he's rookie of the year as well. To Ruva.
Nah, Buller.
I reckon Buller will get it.
It would have been Preston, then he was suspended.
Then Saturday night, live and 3 on Channel 9. Who thought to make this a Channel 9 game?
I'll be at this game.
Dragons Knights.
I'll be there.
Yeah, would.
Up the Saints, fire up.
Do you reckon,
Fire up.
do you reckon Dragons can win this?
I'm tipping the Dragons.
You are.
I'm going Dragons 1 to
How
12.
much? I'm still going to go to Knights, but 1 to 12. Or, I'll go 1 to 12.
Oh, yeah,
I
I'm
reckon
going
it'll be like a
Dragons.
36-24, like a big high score line.
And I'm going because the thing is, Knights have rested a couple. Dragons last home game, they've been playing decent footy. I think Ben Hunt scores in his final game for the Dragons.
Final game for the Dragons, you reckon?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
I'm going to go Greg Margie.
He just extended as well.
He did.
Greg. And then Sunday footy. Is it the first game of the Bulldogs or the second game?
First game is the Bulldogs, 2 o'clock on a Sunday. Perfect time for this game.
Yeah.
Titans 13 plus. End the year on a high.
Nah, are you serious?
I reckon Loffy.
You're going 13 plus?
I reckon it's going to be like 40 to 20.
I'm very close to walking off this podcast.
I
That
reckon
is
the score's going to
disgraceful.
be exactly 40-20. I'm sorry. But the Dogs' defence is terrible to the Titans, who have a magnificent attack but terrible defence. I just reckon the Titans win
Fair enough.
at Seabass.
We beat them last time.
You did.
I'm going.
Very controversial circumstance.
I am going Doggies 1 to 12. I'm sick of going 13 plus. They're not winning anything 13 plus, are they? I'm an idiot to tip them, let's be honest. But the try scorer is going to do it again. The Ock. He's going to score again, Zane. He's going to score again.
Last minute.
In his last game for the Bulldogs, he'll get his farewell try. Remind us all of his absolute brilliance last time he played Titans. And then he'll go over to England, never to be seen again. That's my tip.
And then the final game, the Sharks taking on the Raiders. Probably second or third game of the round. This is a pretty interesting game.
This is so hard to tip. This one is hard to tip.
I'm going to go to Sharks to bounce back without confidence, though.
I'll go Sharks as well.
And I'm going to go 13 plus because, Raiders just lose 13 plus.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going Sharks 1 to 12.
Although this is must win for the Raiders.
I just think it is mushroom, but they've fallen off a cliff a little bit. And Horsburgh being out, Hines comes back in. It's at Shark Park.
So Ronaldo to score.
Yeah, I'll go Ronaldo to score.
I reckon it's going to.
I'll go Nakora. I'll go Nakora running off Hines.
I reckon it's going to end up being like a 8-32 scoreline to the Sharks.
Ooh, a big one.
Mm.
Ooh. All right, that's it, Zane. That's all the games. Final game, final round of the year.
Next time you see me on this podcast, I'll be either
You might walk
distraught or I'll
off.
be buzzing off my chair at the moment.
As I addressed last week, there's rumours that you're going to leave.
No.
You said something at the
Shut
final,
them
so
all
you
down
won't
now.
leave.
No other podcasts are picking me up.
You're looking around, are you? You're trying to get signed to another
No.
podcast.
However,
I might have to look for
someone
a
who's
co-host.
expressed interest in being a co-host next year, which we may get back to.
Really?
Yeah,
Who?
maybe say off camera.
Well, the podcast is about to end, so See you next week, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Hainsey.
Oh, does Haynes want to do a podcast with you?
No, he said join ours because he wants to.
Oh, he wants to join
He wants to
ours.
move to Sydney next year. And he said if he does, he'd be down to like join. Like,
I'd be open to it.
Yeah, it'd be good.